Good evening, LHU students, and welcome to HavenNOW, your source for campus and local news in Lock Haven. I'm Nikki Chappelle.
And I'm Tiana Gare, and here's a look at what happened this week around the area, on campus, and around the nation. First, a robbery and assault on campus, the return of self-defense classes at the rec center, campus fire drills, and an update on this year's Relay for Life.
We also have LHU men's basketball, women's lacrosse, and the results of this weekend's wrestling duel against Cornell. We have a roundup of this week's biggest national news stories and commentaries on the epic Tyson Fury-Deontay Wilder boxing rematch, and on another death of a popular up-and-coming rapper. All this and more coming up.
We'll start things off with an update on the assault and robbery that occurred on campus on February 15th. The assault and robbery occurred in Fairview Suites around 11 p.m. on Saturday. Public safety officials sent out an email warning all students Sunday night, February 16th. There were many rumors around campus that the person who committed this crime was allowed on campus and nothing had been done. After a conversation with the LHU Chief of Police, we are here to lay the rumors to rest. Police Chief Tim Stringer said the perpetrator was arrested in less than an hour, is no longer allowed on campus, and is beginning to wind his way through the criminal justice system. The former student had 2 prior convictions before his actions on February 15th. According to Stringer, he was allowed on campus because of a system set up for students coming into school or returning to school with criminal charges. Stringer said there's actually a 3-person panel that reviews everyone that wants to come to school, and at that point we look at their criminal history and potentials and dangers and threats to campus, and then we use our professional judgment to make determinations on whether they're going to be accepted or not. In the same vein, but a slightly different context, self-defense classes are back at the Student Rec Center. They're held on Sundays from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. in the dance room in the rec. The class is held 5 times this semester with 2 classes remaining. The next class is on March 1st, and the last class is held on March 22nd. Every class is free for LHU students. Prior experience is not required to join. This class is taught by Jeff Ramsey, who has been practicing and studying martial arts for over 20 years. Ramsey also owns his own school of martial arts in Mifflinburg, PA, and teaches a class over at the Lock Haven YMCA. I think the self-defense classes are a great way for students to feel safer on campus.
I agree. The robbery on campus has many students feeling unsafe, so the self-defense classes will help students learn how to protect themselves. Relay for Life is coming back to Lock Haven University Friday, April 3rd at 6 p.m. This is a yearly fundraising event where team members take turns walking to help the fight against cancer. This event is 6 to 24 hours in length, and each team is asked to have a member on the track at all times to signify that cancer never sleeps. Teams are encouraged to set up campsites with food and activities to collect donations throughout the duration of the walk. This is an all-ages event open to the public. The event is always started with an opening ceremony, then the survivors lap, where people currently affected by cancer walk and are cheered on by everyone on the track. Next comes the caregiver lap. Those who have provided support and care for their loved ones are cheered on as they walk. After those 2 laps, team members begin their walk. For those who aren't walking, there are many booths and tables where they can find more information on how to help and support patients. After sunset, luminaries are lit to remember those who unfortunately lost their fight with cancer. At the end of the event is the closing ceremony where the organizers, volunteers, and community members are recognized for their help and commitment to the cause. For any further information, feel free to visit cancer.org, and don't forget, Relay for Life kicks off April 3rd at 6 p.m.
In other campus news, the Lock Haven University Public Safety Department sent out an email last week talking about future fire drills around campus. In the past, only residence halls were annually checked. Now, Police Chief Stringer wants to make sure all buildings are checked. This means there will be new procedures for faculty and students to follow so that everyone knows what to do in case of an emergency. Stringer said, "What we want people to do is not only identify a way out, but multiple ways out. If you go to leave one way and can't, what is your other area of escape going to be?" The email also said that these drills are not supposed to affect classes. Stringer added, We are trying to avoid academic activities, so we're going to be doing the best we can to minimize that worry and look into building schedules when classes will be in session. Quite frankly, there is a good possibility that this may start occurring for faculty and staff after the semester. Quite honestly, it probably won't happen while the students are still here.
The National History Day competition for Region 5, Pennsylvania will be held here at Lock Haven this Friday, February 28th in Rogers Gym from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. National History Day is an event for grades 6 to 12 where participants present research to a panel of judges. This year's theme is Breaking Barriers in History, and the students have been working on their research throughout the 2019-2020 school year. Each student creates a presentation in one of 5 categories: video documentaries, exhibits, historical papers, dramatic performances, and websites. After the winners of the regional contests are chosen, they will compete at the PA National History Day competition in Carlisle in May. The NHD competition started as a local event in Cleveland, Ohio by Dr. David Van Tassel, a history professor at Case Western Reserve University in 1974. Since then, it has grown exponentially to over 700,000 students in 48 states throughout the country. The program has since received the National Humanities Medal from President Obama and the National Endowment for the Humanities. The event in Lock Haven is open to the public. After the main event in Rogers Gym, the award ceremony will be held at 3 p.m. in Price Auditorium, where once again the public is encouraged to attend. In national news this week, notorious film producer Harvey Weinstein was found guilty of third-degree rape of actress Jessica Mann, as well as criminal sexual assault in the first degree against production assistant for Project Runway, Mimi Haley. The jury found him not guilty on 2 counts of predatory sexual assault, which would have resulted in a life sentence for Weinstein. More than 80 women have accused Weinstein of sexual assault, which was one of the catalysts for the Me Too movement. Weinstein is to be sentenced March 11th. Katherine Johnson, the NASA Langley Research Center mathematician who was one of the women portrayed in the 2017 film Hidden Figures, passed away earlier this morning at the age of 101. Johnson was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, America's highest civilian honor, in 2015 by President Barack Obama. Johnson was an American hero, and her pioneering legacy will never be forgotten, wrote NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine in a tweet. The coronavirus has been proven to be detrimental to global economics as the Dow dropped 1,000 points after it had been reported that the death toll of the virus has reached over 2,500. The virus is now spreading rapidly through Italy, South Korea, and Japan. Major companies like Apple have already been affected by the fear of the virus, as well as various travel agencies. Now over to Tristan with this past week's sports news.
Thank you, Nikki. Lock Haven is hosting a coach's caravan on Thursday, February 27th. This event will be held at the Red Rose Arena in Lancaster from 6 to 8 p.m. The cost of the event is $35 per person and is for anyone affiliated with Lock Haven Athletics. This includes alumni, athletic administrators, coaches, fans, and anyone who provides funds for Lock Haven Athletics. This is the second time Lock Haven is hosting an event like this. This event is designed for the Lock Haven athletic community to get to meet each other and talk about past events as well as what the coaches are doing to make sure teams prosper in the future. Next, here's a brief recap of the boys basketball game this past week.
The LHU men's basketball team captured a win this past Wednesday against Bloomsburg University. This event included a special for the first 50 students in attendance to get free wings and a free slice voucher from Pizza City. There were 4 players who had double figures in Wednesday night's game. Senior guard Christian Kelly led the team with 34 points, going 10 for 15 from the field and adding 11 rebounds. Junior forward Jesse McPherson added 19 points and 5 rebounds, while junior Matt Cerruti had 14 points and freshman Eli Washington recorded 10 points. This win propels the LHU men's team to a 12-11 overall record and a 9-10 record within the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, or PSAC. There are still 3 games remaining in the year.
I'm feeling very good. We needed this win, especially in the PSAC play. We're kind of eyeing up a bunch of other teams right now because we kind of have the same type of record, the same type of situation as a lot of other teams. But I'm very satisfied because, everyone counts at this point, and we only have about 3.
In other sports news, the Lock Haven girls lacrosse team participated in the university's scuba diving club this past week. This club allows students to participate in a scuba dive as well as become certified and meet new people. I couldn't get a quote from any of the Lock Haven girls, but students, if you're interested, check it out. Lock Haven softball started their season last week in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The Lady Eagles went 2-4 on the 6-game stretch, pulling out victories against Southern Connecticut State 6-3 and Goldie Beacon with a score of 6-2. The Lady Eagles are scheduled for a PSAC doubleheader against Millersville on March 4th, first pitch at 2:30. On the boys' side, the boys' baseball team is going to have a packed weekend. They will be traveling to the PSAC MEC crossover at Glenville State. Friday, they face Fairmont State. Saturday, they'll play Concord, and wrapping up the weekend with the game against Glenville State Sunday afternoon. Now, let's take a look at this past weekend's wrestling duel. The Lock Haven University wrestling team came up short on senior night, falling to Cornell 23-13. Luke Warner, ranked number 12 in the nation, put Lock Haven up 3-0 in the duel after a 9-6 win over Cornell's Dom LaJorie. Senior Kyle Shoup continues to dominate at 141 pounds as the senior pulled out a 5-2 win after a scoreless first period. Shoup is currently ranked number 22 in the nation. At 149 pounds, fellow senior Colin Gloricio fell short against Cornell's Hunter Richards with a score of 5-2. Other matches included Cornell's Malik Dawkins downing Austin Bell 13-6 at 165 pounds. Senior Jared Segrist won a thriller at 174 pounds with a victory of 3-1 over Andrew Baricia. And at 184 pounds, Jonathan Leo of Cornell downed Corey Hazel. The top fight of the night was at 133 pounds when Eagles DJ Felham and Cornell's Chas Tucker, respectively both ranked in the nation's top 25 in their weight class. Tucker was too much for Felham, winning the match 4-1. To round off the night at 157 pounds, Eagles' Alex Clucker took down Cornell's Adam Santoro with the huge 10-point opening first round, closing up the match with a victory of 14-1.
In upcoming campus events and activities, this week we have a packed schedule with many opportunities to go out and have some fun. Starting this week, students can start applying to become part of the student resident life staff. This includes resident assistant, desk receptionist, orientation leader, and summer assistant. Applications are due March 20th. The Student Rec Center is continuing with their fitness classes every day at different times. You can go down to the SRC to attend these classes. Tuesday has a 30-minute cardio blast, Zumba, HIIT training, and yoga. Throughout the rest of the week, you can find out when these classes are by heading down to the rec center and checking out at the front desk for more information. Starting Wednesday on campus, the university players are opening their show, The Glass Menagerie. Thursday includes another night activity on campus being hosted by the Haven Activities Council. They're bringing a glow party to campus at 9 p.m. in the Student Rec Center, so make sure to go and check that out. And last but not least, on Friday, Haven Activities Council is once again doing their movie night. They're showing the movie Just Mercy in the Price Auditorium. Now, we're going to transfer over to a little bit of sadder news, and we're going to talk about the death of rapper Pop Smoke. He died in a home invasion on February 19th, and many believe what led to his death was a Instagram live video where rapper Pop Smoke revealed his home address while showing off gifts. We've seen so many rappers in the past few years die from either murders or gang violence. Rapper XXXTentacion died in a robbery outside of Rivian Motors in Florida in 2018. There's been many instances of past in just hip-hop culture alone. The most memorable deaths in hip-hop culture for most people are probably the deaths of Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G., both murdered in drive-by shootings. However, there is much speculation about both of these murders. The ties between gang violence and rap cultures has gone back a long time, and those two worlds moved in overlapping each other for decades. Gangs were central to the identity of hip-hop in the late 1980s and throughout the 1990s, and had perhaps their most prominent person in Suge Knight, the founder of Death Row Records in the early 1990s, publicly flaunting his blood affiliation. Even in recent history, we have seen rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine publicly known to be a part of the Trey 9 gang. Even in recent memory, I feel that most people have forgotten that Snoop Dogg was once in fact a member of the Rollin' 20 Crips. Also, he was on trial for murder. Even the most famous rappers turned celebrities are bound in some way in their past to gang affiliation. It just seems like that ends up how we see the hip-hop culture now, which is a culture that just happens to be twisted in a very violent nature. Now into boxing news, where we saw on Saturday night the biggest fight that we'll see in a long time. a rematch between Tyson Fury and world boxing champion Deontay Wilder. After their first bout ended in a draw, there seemed to be many fans that were left hanging on the outcome of the match. However, this match had no cliffhangers as to who would come out on top and who would come out as the WBC champion. After 7 straight dominating rounds, Tyson Fury seemed like he was unstoppable. The match ended with Wilder's corner throwing in the towel, and many believe that Fury is one of the most dominant boxers of this generation, and many will be surprised if Deontay Wilder challenges for a trilogy rematch clause. This match was so one-sided for Fury that many were left wondering if Wilder would get off any sort of an offensive bliss during the 7 rounds. It was a very exciting match to watch as a Tyson Fury fan myself, and I'm definitely hoping that Deontay Wilder challenges for another match. And that's all for entertainment news this week. I'm Sean Duane. Now back to you, Tiana.
Thanks, Sean. Nikki, did you happen to see any of that match?
I didn't. I'm sad I missed it.
Yeah, me too, actually. I didn't get to see anything except the highlights. Thank you for tuning in to LHU TV's Haven Now. Catch us next Monday at 5 p.m. for all your local and campus news. I'm Tiana Gare.
And I am Nikki Chappelle, and we hope you all have a great rest of your week.